Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to you, depending on where you are tuning in from. Thank you so much for joining us today as we continue our cell series. But before we begin, before we make any announcements, we just want to let you know, if you would like to join us for an amazing raffle for a Starbucks card, all you have to do is comment from wherever you are. So if you're tuning in from Facebook, from Twitter, from YouTube, just make any comment. You'll automatically be entered into this raffle. So now for the exciting news.
Can I enter the raffle?
Did you make a comment?
Oh, okay, fine.
Exactly. Okay. So for some exciting news, we have an announcement, a special guest today. We've been waiting eagerly. Ricardo, whenever you're ready. Celebrate! Yay! Lisa is with us again by special request. Everyone loved her so much, as we all do. And so she's here to share her expertise with us again today. So Lisa, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, can you believe we are on session 6 of our social emotional learning? Wow, I can't believe it. So today we are going to be doing art for the community. And I haven't mentioned yet, but my name is Teresa Castro.
I am Ricardo Recinos.
And we're going to let her introduce herself.
And I am Lisa Ruiz.
And we are all TOSAs from Hacienda La Puente Unified. Click. All right, so before we do anything, we just want to talk about our objective. We know we might have different audience today as usual. We usually have teachers and educators, but in addition to that, we might even have people from the community today. So we just wanted to kind of go over our objective and do a little bit of review to explain to you why we're here. Okay, so our objective today, as always, to discover ways social emotional learning can help provide an inclusive experience for every student. And even though we're addressing the whole community today, why are we here? We are here for our students. So that is our focus and purpose always. So our purpose is include students, teachers, families, and the community in the conversation, and how art can provide more access to social and emotional learning experiences and expression, and how we can help build social emotional competencies. And our non-purpose, as always, we do not ever expect you to throw out everything you've been doing, and please do not feel limited to what is shared today. Every episode we've done in this series, we've gone back to our definition just to kind of ground us and put us in the same place, as we begin. So SEL is a process for helping children and adults develop the fundamental skills for life effectiveness. And we know that's not just for the kids. And you see here, children and adults. So definitely right here, right there, all of us, right? SEL teaches skills we all need to handle ourselves, our relationships, our work effectively and ethically. And as we've been going through our series, I thought on my mind, man, if I just learned this sooner, right? How much different life would be. Okay, so anyways, let's continue. So why SEL? You know what? I'm going to ask Lisa first this question. Lisa, to you, why is SEL education important at all?
I believe that it's important because it helps to build resiliency in ourselves and in our students. And that is something that we've been noticing as educators and as parents, that our children are lacking. So I think that, when we peel away the layers of the onion and, get down to the nitty gritty, that's why it's important.
Beautifully said. I love that. Did you want to add to that, Ricardo?
I was just going to say how it helps our students develop a sense of empathy, but also individual responsibility and the ability to work together because they have that vocabulary, to express themselves.
Absolutely. I love it. And so there's so many reasons why SEL is important, right? But we also saw some data on what does it actually do for us and for our kids. So data has shown gives us better attendance, better behavior, better grades. Those are just, the minimum, right? There's so much more that it does. But now today we're asking, why are we bringing in the community? Why aren't we just addressing it in the classroom? Why is it important in the community? Do any of you want to answer that question? I guess that's the big question of the day.
I want to say that, by creating a network of adults, not just at school, but also at home and maybe at community centers, maybe the kids are part of a basketball team, football team, whatever it might be, we're helping them also creating those trusted relationships, not only at home, but the community is important. And finally, having the shared goal to teach that common language. If we do it at school, but we also will model that at home, it's important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And, we always have to realize that, there are students, but every student is somebody's something, somebody's daughter, somebody's grandchild, somebody's niece, right? Somebody's special somebody. So, we don't just want to teach them this amazing skill and have them leave it in the classroom. We want them to bring it home because it not only helps them as people, but also affects those around them, right? So even us as adults learn this as well. So we want to make sure that it's something, like Ricardo said, that you build from school to home and across the community. So why the community? So common language and Lisa, I think you wanted to touch upon that, right?
Yeah, I believe that it's very important that all stakeholders share in this common language, and I think most importantly that all stakeholders understand that SEL is for adults as well. Just like you said, Teresa, I wish I had learned this sooner. I too wish I had learned this as a young professional. There are things that there are lessons learned that could have helped me as a young professional. And I think also as a parent.
And today.
Yes, in this stressful situation that we find ourselves in. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you, Lisa. Absolutely. So just one piece of data to bring back to you that we've talked about in our prior episodes. So statistically significant associations exist between measured social emotional skills in kindergarten and young adult outcomes across multiple domains. So this isn't just something that's, we'll learn today and we're going to forget about tomorrow. SEL is here to stay because you could see how big of a difference it makes. Kindergartners who were strong in SEL competence were more likely to graduate from high school, complete a college degree, obtain stable employment in young adulthood, just be successful in general, not in just education in your jobs, but in adult life in general. So that's why it is so, so important for us to spend time to really understand what SEL is about. Click. So if you're not familiar with SEL, and we have been going over this, but here are the 5 competencies. Competencies. I'm so sorry. 5 competencies of SEL. Coming from the castle. Lisa, I think you taught us how to say that last time. Thank you so much. We've been working on it. So here are the 5, and we're not going to go in depth because you could always watch our prior episodes, but self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills. That's a big one, right? Responsible decision-making. Okay, so let's click. And on this next slide, you could see those competencies are here in the middle. But this graphic shows us how this layers. So it might start in the classroom. Maybe this is where we're teaching them the vocabulary initially, and then it grows into the school climate, into the other classes when they're out at recess. It grows from the schools. And then finally, here we are, home and communities. Having a partnership with home and community is so important when it comes to SEL. It doesn't just end in the classroom, which you've heard us say over and over. This is also a great resource on the right that Ricardo can click on. And I think we're okay on time. Yeah, I think we're okay. So if you can click on that, if you don't mind. This is social and emotional learning in diverse community. And I know the community that we serve in our district, very, very diverse. And so you see this graphic here and a wonderful explanation of what it means. And also down here, there are resources, actual lessons that go along with the different competencies that can be done in the classroom and also at home. So if you click on those, you can see the different lessons that you can do. So just a great resource that we would love to share with you. Okay. So now the question is, why are we doing art? Lisa, why are we doing art today in our SEL episode?
Because art is something that levels the playing field. It's something that everyone can do. And it is a way to encourage anyone of any age to express themselves and to work out any issues that they may be experiencing. It is a way for students to be able to problem solve and for adults to be able to problem solve. It's also a safe way to work out trauma, struggle, anything that someone might be going through, stress. We keep circling back to stress.
I don't know what that is.
It's right here. It's like surrounding us all the time right now. So it is a wonderful, I don't want to say tool because it's very near and dear to my heart. It's not just a tool, it's a way of life for me.
Yes.
And the more that we embrace that idea of art, and that doesn't need to be visual art, it could be dance, it could be theater, it could be
Yes.
music of any kind. When we embrace the idea that the arts, any one of them can be or should be a way of life for us as an outlet for a self-expression.
Right.
It is what do I want to say here? It's freeing. It is liberating. Mm-hmm.
Very
And
beautifully said.
yeah.
Yes, I love that. I want you to go on because I'm so inspired. Just art does so much for us, and I know you beautifully said. I don't even want to ruin anything that was just said right now, but of course, through art we can address the 5 competencies of SEL, like what you already mentioned them right now. Just self-awareness, self-management, relationship skills. If you're doing it with someone else, maybe you're working with someone, you have to cooperate, maybe you should share materials, whatever it is. Social awareness. These things are addressed either directly or indirectly while you're actually doing the art. So I'm really excited to do this piece today because you might wonder, like, what does this have to do with anything? But just through the process, whether you're doing it yourself or you're helping your child do it, or you're doing it with, other people in your family, there's just opportunities for us to work together and to have fun and to express and to free ourselves, from the stresses of daily life. So Lisa, this is much needed. So thank you so much for joining us. And I'm excited to get started. So if you are ready, then Ricardo, let's get down to business.
I know my wife and my daughter are in the living room just waiting to start.
Shout out to them. Hi. And hi to Caitlin too, because she's in the other room.
Hi, Caitlin. Okay. Okay, you guys ready to do this?
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Right. Let me share screen.
As she's sharing screen, Ricardo, do you want me to share my, or do you want to just, I don't care which camera you want me to use right now.
Share screen.
You could if you want to, and I can go to that one too.
Okay. It makes me so vulnerable. Okay, we'll see. I'll think about it.
And I see Elisa, I'll put it on, and then you can just switch it how we did before. There it goes.
Perfect. Oh, great.
There we are.
Oh, can we remind them what they need just in case they didn't get the memo? They can run and get it.
We're going to need a Post-it note, a 3x3 Post-it note. Now, for some reason, my document camera is making this look rectangular, and it's not. It is a square.
We trust you.
Document cameras. Okay, so this is actually a square. That's super frustrating to me. You can do any color Post-it note you want, and it could be any kind of piece of paper. I just mentioned Post-it note because teachers have Post-it notes, coming out our ears, and they're already 3x3. So you can use any color you want. You need a piece of white paper. Printer paper will do. You'll need a pair of scissors and a glue stick. And you may want a pencil. That's it. That's all you need for this art making experience. I want to make this not rectangular, but I fear if I mess with it, it may shut off, and then I'll be really upset. So I'm going to, what if I do that? Does that look more square?
Lisa, maybe we can give them 10 seconds to just run and go grab things just in case. And while they do that, you can kind of situate yourself.
Yeah.
So for those of you who want to join us, go run and get what you need.
I need glue.
I know Ricardo's lacking something. I can see it on his face.
Right. You're going to want to gather your materials and do this instead of watching and doing it later, because...
So we'll wait for you. You have 5 seconds. Go.
5 seconds?
Yes, go. Run.
Go. Go. Go.
Oh my goodness. Just go, please.
Wow. The director of the teacher intern program that I teach for, the graduate program at Laco, gave me this super fancy document camera, and it has so many buttons on it. So many buttons.
I have one too. I'm going to share it.
You have a ladybug?
While Ricardo's not sharing, let me see if I could switch to it. Oops, wrong one.
I'm trying
There's
to.
There you go.
I am back
Oh, now I just lost my scissors. Oh, here.
with my glue.
I hope it's not crazy glue.
There's a
Accident.
way to adjust because this is like an $800 camera.
Lisa, I think even if it looks a little bit rectangle, I think we are totally fine.
Menu. What does that do?
I think she's trying to make it look less rectangular.
Yes.
I hope we didn't lose her because I'm not ready to teach this one. Lisa, are you still there, love? Just wanted to make sure. I think she's frozen.
Is she?
Are you there?
Are you?
We're
Lisa,
here.
are you-
Oh, okay. Are we
Okay,
ready
yeah,
to get started?
Yeah, let's begin.
Okay. So what we are about to make, I'm going to write here at the top of my white sheet. It's called a Japanese Notan. And it's spelled Notan. That way, later on, you can look up some YouTube videos on how to create one of these. And this one's being recorded, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Is ours
As
being
always.
recorded? Okay,
Yes.
awesome. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to start with our little square in the middle of our larger sheet of paper. And what I usually do is I mark the corners with what we call printer's registration marks, like this. Because I want to be able, once I get all the little pieces cut, because what we're going to be doing is cutting and gluing pieces back down onto the paper, and the alignment's going to be important. So I'm going to want to know where these corners are. So you're going to need to do that. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk about not cutting these corners. As beginners, we don't want to cut these corners. When you've made several and you feel like you're more advanced, you can cut the corners all you want. But let's avoid that in the beginning. What we're going to do is we're going to cut some shapes, some random shapes. Some of our shapes are going to be more biomorphic. That means made of curving lines, and some of them are going to be more angular and man-made, just so that we can go back and forth between those two types of lines so that we have some visual interest. If all of the shapes that we're cutting out are the same, it gets a little bit boring. So we want to have some variety in our design. So we're going to cut out of one side first, and then we'll cut all the shapes out of another side, and then the other side, and then the other side. So we're going to cut all four sides. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out of this side. So I'm going to cut, I'm not going to cut all the way past the middle. I'm going to cut like a little bit short of the middle. So what I like to do is I like to put my finger or my thumb so that I know that I'm not going to cut past that, because I don't want to do that. I'm just cutting a shape. And some people, and I'm not going to say any names, are a little bit of control freaks, and they just might feel tempted to draw every shape. Please avoid the temptation.
I think she's talking to Ricardo. She's not talking to me.
I'm not saying any names. Just cut it. Okay? Just cut the paper. Be brave and cut the paper. Now, once you've cut your piece of paper, then you're going to take that piece of paper and you're going to flip it so that it is a mirror image, and the corners line up. See my corner? It's going to line up here, and my corner is going to line up here. And now I have a symmetrical positive negative space design. The positive space is, oops, that's my husband calling. Sorry. He's going to be all bugged because I hung up on him. So the positive space is taken up by the colored paper, and the negative space is the emptiness left behind by the paper that was cut out. Okay, now we're not done because there's more paper here left that we can cut out. So I'm going to pick that piece up and I'm going to cut another one. Now, this line that I cut is curved. So this is a biomorphic, therefore creating a biomorphic.
Did we lose her?
Just give her a second. I think sometimes she comes back. I'm going to guess that she's going to tell us to cut another shape inside, but I'm not going to do it until she gets here, just to be sure. So everyone, if you're just tuning in right now. So Lisa, are you back?
I'm here.
I think we lost you for a little bit. So I think go ahead and tell us what to cut inside of the shape.
So what I was doing is I was saying that my first shape that I cut was a biomorphic shape because this is a biomorphic line. My next shape, I'm going to cut something that's more angular. See how I'm making zigzaggy kind of shapes? It's like more man-made, kind of mechanical shapes. So you can make yours as simple or as intricate as you like.
I think having smaller scissors helps.
It does. Yeah, I have some paper collage scissors here. And they do, yeah, these little fine scissors with the pointy edge do help. When I teach this to younger students, I use younger elementary age students, I use bigger pieces of paper. And they have those elementary scissors that are just, I hate those scissors so much. But I know
them well.
I hate those scissors. But what I do is I use a 6x6 square for younger students because this tiny piece of paper is just no bueno. It's just not good for little hands. But I knew for what we were doing tonight that this a small piece of paper was going to work for us. So then what we're going to do is as many times as I've done this in the past, I always fit my piece back where it came from so that I can remember that I'm going to flip it so that it's mirror image. Because we want to make sure that every time we flip it, it's a mirror image and that we align it like that with the corners. Because what eventually ends up happening is because those corners are touching, your eye and your brain are going to, you're going to complete the square because there's going to be very, very little paper left in the middle. There's going to be like a sliver of a wiggly X left in the middle. And the rest of it's going to be flipped out, flipped in, flipped out, flipped in, flipped out, and flipped in. Because we're going to do all four sides. So we have enough room still to cut some more. So because we cut this shape in a mechanical, angular kind of shape, now we're going to go back to biomorphic. So we're going to do something more wavy. So we're going to cut again. Let's see, this one goes here. I'm going to flip it back out. Whoops, keeps moving on me. I used to teach AP art at the high school, and I did this with the AP students one year, and they got so into it. I just meant for it to be like a quick brain break between projects. And, they're AP students, they're high achievers. They got so into it. They wanted to make it they did the first one, and then they were so into it, they did another one. And then they said, could we make it narrative? And I'm like, sure. So then they went even bigger, and they got all just so sophisticated with it. So I guess they were doing a poetry unit with a bunch of them were doing a poetry unit in their literature class. And so they had all these literature themes going on with their narrative notans. And this one kid had all these, she was using like X-Acto blades and all these little teeny tiny pieces. And she was using tweezers and all this.
Wow.
And the kid across from her was sick.
Oh.
And he sneezed
Oh.
and blew all her pieces all over the floor. I thought there was going to be war in the art studio. I was like, okay, it's all right. All right, it's all right. I'm going to help you pick it up. It's going to be okay.
Poor thing.
Okay, so there is more room. And, you know, if we're a more advanced group, I would say, let's cut some more. But we don't have all that much time. So we're going to let that lie. Okay, we're not going to glue it down yet. We're going to go to another side.
My fingers are twitching to glue it because it keeps
Glue it.
coming up. I'm like, okay, I will not.
Do not glue it. So now we're gonna keep going.
Follow directions.
We're gonna keep going. Now there's no right or wrong way to do this. I like to go opposite sides, just because I want it to develop symmetrically. But you can do it any way you want. So I'm gonna let you all choose whichever way you want to do this, because you know there's freedom in art. So I'm going to go over here and do this side. You guys do whatever you want to do. Some people like to go this way. Some people like to go the other way. I'm going to go the opposite way. So you do you. Just don't cut the corners.
Oops, I'm just kidding. Okay.
So we're going to spend the next few minutes cutting, and flipping. So while you guys are doing that, we could talk about some skills that we're learning besides cutting skills. I wouldn't suggest doing this with kinders for sure. I think the lowest grade level I've done this with is third. Patience for sure. Self-awareness, students and adults would be working on self-awareness with this, and they'd be working on responsible decision-making.
Self-management for me.
Definitely self-management, right? Definitely. I think that one's probably, I would say that's the number one skill.
More like self-restraint in my case. You know, I had my pencil ready because, you know, I already knew that I wanted to trace it, but you told us not to.
I knew you were gonna.
You also wanted to glue already, so
I
yeah.
did.
Mm-hmm.
It would make me feel so much better.
I know, but just resist the urge, trust the process. It's all gonna be fine. It's all gonna be fine, and you're not sitting across from anybody who's gonna sneeze, so you're fine. You're fine.
I'm curious what my daughter's coming up with. She's in the other room doing it too, and she's really amazing at doing stuff like this.
Ooh, I can't wait to see it.
I know, I'm excited.
Okay.
She didn't get that from me for sure.
You know what I have to resist the urge to do is licking my fingers to move the paper, because that's a habit of mine, you know, to like lick but you can't be licking anything right now. Well, you probably should never do that, but
good to know.
that was a habit of mine. I'll just lick my fingers and move the paper around because, you know, it temporarily sticks to your hands. Because my hands are so dry from all of the sanitizer. So very dry.
I hear somebody typing and not focusing on what we're doing right now.
I am.
So another thing with self-management is some people get super frustrated when it starts to move around and they want to just like give up, or it's not it's not turning out the way they want it to. That's why I insist that people don't draw, because I want you to let it happen. Just let it happen. Let it just emerge. Let the design emerge. This is supposed to be abstract at first when you're learning the skill of creating a symmetrical design using positive and negative space. This is a visual spatial design.
Can we keep going to the next slide, Lisa, or do you want us to wait for you?
No, don't wait for me. Keep going. I'm just yapping here, talking through the learning experience and trying to. I'm being a little OCD. I don't know why, because they're just going to move again if I move to
I cannot relate to that.
I don't know why. I was subbing at one of the elementary schools the other day, and I went out to the Artmobile to get some art supplies for the kids to do a art project with them after recess, and I accidentally spilled all 5. Oh no, Kitty! Oh no, you don't. No.
I miss Kitty.
All 5 of my paintbrush buckets into the street in front of us. Now, you know how I am about my paintbrushes. They're all sorted meticulously by size into their little buckets, and all 5 brush buckets all in the street.
Oh no.
You know, we have one of those, one elementary school with no parking, always in the street. And so all of my brushes were in the street. So,
Lisa.
Not a happy art teacher. And, you know, then I heard the bell ring for the kiddo's lunch. And so I was like, God, I can't even sort them. I have to just throw them in the bag like this. So I go running up to the classroom, and I've got this giant shopping bag full of paintbrushes and buckets under my arm. And the kids are like so excited, you know, we get to paint. And I'm like, I can't stop and sort these brushes right now. I'm so like, ooh, I'm just, okay. Let it go. Just
and I'm sure the kids did not even notice or care.
Oh, they were just like, getting it. Yeah. One little girl, very tuned in. She was like, "You look stressed, mistress." And I was like, "I am, darling. I am."
The kids are just happy to see you.
My brushes are just a mess. She's like, "Would you like me to sort them for you?" I said, "No, thank you. I don't want you to miss out on this fun painting." Well, you know what? I'm not gonna look at it. She goes, "You know what? I'm gonna take it and put it under my desk so you don't have to look at it." Okay.
Our kids are the best.
Okay, that's a good idea. Thank you, darling. Put it under your desk because it's making my skin crawl. And then I forgot about it for a couple of days, and I opened the back of the Artmobile, and I saw it there. I was like, "Oh, sort those darn brushes."
Okay, I cannot wait till we can glue this down.
Okay, we're almost there.
Patience.
It's driving me bonkers. I'm not kidding. Yes, I am. I'm going to do an after this that's all purely symmetrical lines just so I feel better.
Don't do it.
Oh, Lisa came back. I thought she was gone.
Don't do it. I can still hear you. I had to go shoo the kitty from something she was getting into. Don't do it. Abstract art is your friend, Teresa. You're funny.
I remember when Lisa came in and did an art piece with our team, and Ricardo was like, "I don't know how to do this stuff," and his was like amazing.
This was
It was
awesome.
so annoying. It was so annoying. It's like, I don't.
You know, we talk about self-confidence, and Lisa has given me that when it comes to art. I was always very, very afraid and scared to be put on the spot. And thank you, Lisa, for that. Definitely.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yes.
Everyone is an artist. You just
I
have
remember our
materials and make it.
Our HLPTA sponsored those 2 times when you showed us how to paint. I was the first one to sign up because I wanted to be there because I was learning.
So fun. That was fun. I can't wait till we can do
Mhm.
that again. It was super fun. Okay, gotta figure out which way this goes. Which way was this? See what I mean about your X at when you get down to the bottom or the end, you're at the oh here, this is the way it goes. You only have like a little squiggly X at the end. And you forget,
Oh,
you know, you forget, oh, everything's sticking to my fingers. You forget what direction it's supposed to be in. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to push that to the side because it's making me crazy. I'm going to put that over there because I know that's where it goes. Put that over there. Push this over there.
The sticky top part is like sticking all over my
The
finger.
Post-it note?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm having that problem as well. Construction paper is easier to deal with because it's not so thin and it doesn't curl up.
Yes.
Just FYI. Okay.
Okay, Lisa, I'm done. Can I glue it now?
Yes. Start with your X.
Okay.
If you're done, start with the X. Make
Oh,
sure
no.
that
I laughed and it flew. Okay, I need to stop talking. Okay, I'm gonna focus now.
Don't breathe. Don't breathe. No heavy breathing because you're gonna blow your little abstract shapes everywhere.
Oh.
It's all right. You can find them again. They're like little puzzle pieces.
So Lisa, we start gluing the X, and after that, glue also the other pieces. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So you just do one section at a time. So glue the X in the center and put the little corners into the little register marks that you created when we started. And realize that once you get the X wet with glue, it might stretch a little bit. So start in the corner and in the corner, and then tap it down that way because this paper will stretch a little bit when it gets wet.
I wish I had tweezers.
Yeah. Tweezers would be good. So one of the most common mistakes that I find artists, young and old, make is accidentally flipping one of their pieces so that it ends up not being symmetrical. And that's not, it's not the end of the world. Just make another one. No big deal.
I just noticed that I was trying to put my X back, and I'm like, which way did it go?
Yeah, what? What happened? Because it just looks like a wiggly X now, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not quite sure what's going on. And mine stretched a little, so it didn't get back into the registration mark here. So I want to get it as close to that registration mark as I can. Oh, I need some more. There we go. That should do it.
So Lisa, we had a comment asking if you can come to their 6th grade class to show how to do this.
I would love to come to the 6th grade class. I would love to, as long as we're not subbing.
Ms. Diaz, she would love to come and join you.
I would love to come and show your 6th graders how to do this. What site?
Miss Diaz is that Nelson?
Is that
Nelson? I believe
the Diaz I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
We have a few.
Mm-hmm. So just to be sure that we're gluing it down the right way, slide those little puzzle pieces back in and flip them like that before you glue them down. Oh, it's Claudia, right?
Yes, Claudia said she's a Nelson.
Yeah.
I was right. I'm never right. Oh my goodness.
Thank you, Ms. Diaz.
Invite us. I want to come too.
Okay.
It would be a dream.
Yes, it would be a dream to be able to do my job.
We're doing our job.
Out loud.
Just our other job.
Yeah.
Okay, I have one side glued.
I know it's a little.
How long are we staying on?
I know.
Everyone, we do not want you to go anywhere, but this is the piece we're doing today. We would love you to stay with us so we could all share our final pieces. Oh,
Danny
hi,
Danny is also with us. Hi, Danny.
Hi,
Great to have
Danny.
you here.
Danny always supports us, and we are
Mhm.
so thankful. Thank you, Danny.
Okay, let's see. And just make sure your corners line up too, because if your corners don't line up, then your eye is going to have some trouble completing this line right here. That is why it's important for your corners to line up. So I need to scooch this back just a tad.
Danny does amazing art in her class too.
She does.
Yeah.
She does. Oh, hi, Georgia. Hi. Okay, the doggy's home. Okay, go. Okay.
Oh no, stop laughing. I keep laughing and my pieces go flying. Okay, Lisa, I underestimated the intricacy of this art piece, but I love it.
Did you cut yours a little too intricate?
No, I think when we were talking about what to do today, I was like, oh, that'll be easy. Even though it's not hard. I wouldn't call it hard. I just didn't realize how intricate it would be.
I never said it was going to be easy.
What?
I didn't say that.
Yes, I'm in the middle of something.
Okay, fine. All right.
Oh, look what I did. I think I have this wrong. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, good. All right. I always start talking and then I get distracted and I get one piece.
If
flipped
anyone is
backwards.
just tuning in right now, we we are here for episode 6 of our Cell series, and we are doing an amazing art project with Lisa for our students and for our community, meaning our families, any stakeholders out there. And so if you're just tuning in, we're in the middle of an art project right now. We're not just having fun. We are also having fun, but we're also focused.
We are challenging ourselves.
Yes, very much so.
We are challenging ourselves. I think that we need to destigmatize the whole idea of, art being frivolous and just frivolous and fun, because we need to get rid of that whole, frivolous and fun thing, because just because something is fun doesn't mean it's frivolous.
It's frivolous, correct. Can we have that in a quote somewhere in a frame?
Yeah. Some of the most we learn some of the most valuable lessons from fun things.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait. Is that right? Yeah. Yes. Okay. I think the gluing part probably takes the most time. And when I do this with students, I always end up with that one student that loses a random piece, and I'm stuck trying to figure out how I'm going to recreate it for them. But don't worry, honey. Don't worry. I'll figure out how to make that piece again. Don't panic. Let's see. Does this go this way? Yes.
I'm on my last side.
Ooh, you're good.
It's not a race, but I might win.
You might win. You're going to win the race that's not a race.
Ricardo's already done. I'm not annoyed by that. It's fine.
I did not say anything.
Whatever.
Okie dokie. And then, so this is something that you could do as students as a Valentine's Day. Did I do this wrong? Oh, did I?
Ooh, that would be fun.
Yeah, if you did this, oh yeah, I didn't. You could do this as a Valentine's Day experience where they created with red and white paper, or red and pink, or Valentine's Day colors, and they could make it into a card for someone with a message.
Okay.
Teresa, while you're working, would you like to, while Lisa's working, or Lisa, if you can give us just a short recap of what you are doing.
What am I doing? I am creating a Japanese Notan design, which is basically a collage, a cut paper collage of abstract shapes. And when you glue it down, it creates a design of positive and negative, a positive and negative shapes design. Is that right? Positive and negative shapes design. And it can be as intricate or as simple as you would like. I can show you when we're done some, or you can Google it. If you just Google Japanese Notan in images, you will find example after example after example of some of the simplest to some of the most sophisticated, amazing Notans.
Ricardo is ready. I have a share screen of it too. So whenever you want to throw my screen up, Ricardo, I can show them.
Google has to offer.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead. I think, you don't need to keep sharing mine. I'm sure that everybody's almost done with theirs.
So when Lisa said we could do a Japanese Notan, I was like, what are you talking about? And I Googled it and I was like, this is so cool. But I didn't realize it was paper. And I was like, that's too hard. And she said, nope. All it takes is 2 pieces of paper. And I was amazed. And I got super excited about doing it today. And look at these. This is amazing. They could start so simple and then get so intricate.
Mm-hmm. And if this is something that you're into, like if this is something that you're just like, this is something your brain just loves, you can just do it over and over and over again. And after you've done, say 5 or 6, your brain starts to really get a hold of what's going to happen as you cut and flip and cut and flip. And then things like a narrative piece is possible. I wouldn't say that at first it is for everyone, but with practice, it is. It is possible. You just have to do it, enough times for your brain to like seize onto the possibilities and start to get it, for it to start to click.
I would love to do one with bigger piece of paper and smaller scissors.
Yeah, bigger pieces of paper.
Maybe an X-Acto blade, maybe.
A little bit heavier paper is easier to deal with, but I knew that most of us would be working in a small space.
And you're right. Almost everybody has Post-its.
Almost everyone has
almost
Post-its.
Everybody.
And so if I said, "Oh, you need to cut your paper in 3 by 3," some people would be like, "I don't have time for that." But you have a 3 by 3 Post-it.
Wow, Lisa, that's beautiful. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I want to see everybody else's. Mine always ends up looking like a crazy lizard. Do you see the lizard?
I do kind of see the lizard pattern. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Mine doesn't look like a lizard.
This crazy psychedelic lizard. His eyes and his mouth and his little crown.
I love that. Well, Lisa, I found that really relaxing, but I did have to exercise some cell competencies. While we were working. I had to be aware.
Mm-hmm.
I did have to kind of cooperate with you. But are we ready to share? Is there anything else you want to say about it before we share our pieces?
There's other ways that you can. Oh, I wanted to show you that if you line up the corners, see how your brain completes the box?
I could totally see the square, even though we cut it out.
Yeah.
I could totally see
If
that.
you line up the corners, your brain completes the box. You'll find that with some emerging artists, will say, they'll get in a hurry to start gluing, to get it all glued down, because I think that people panic and they're like, I just got to get it glued down before I lose a piece. And so they forget to line up the corners. And so then it's difficult to for the brain to complete the box.
Claudia said it looks like fancy tile.
It does look like
I
fancy
agree.
tile. Yeah. Cool. All right.
Oh, thank you,
Another
Luz.
thing,
Luz
you're welcome.
Hernandez.
There's another way that you can do this to kick up the challenge. You can cut two colors at the same time, and when you cut two colors at the same time, you would, let me see if I can explain this without demonstrating. So you would take this, let's just say it had green and purple. I would cut out both of them, and instead of I would flip out the purple, leave the green here, flip out the purple, then flip the green, and then flip purple, so that I could play with more colors.
Interesting.
But that takes some dexterity. I would do that with older students, because you have to hold.
I don't think I'm ready for it.
Both pieces of paper at the same time so they don't move on you.
Or have you ever thought of using origami paper that has different color on one side and different color on the other side, or a pattern? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm so.
My daughter loves doing origami, so she has a lot of that paper around the house.
Do some. Get her to do some with that. I want to see.
I'll ask her. I'm sure she'd love it.
I think I gave all my origami paper to Maddie. I wonder if she's gonna do it.
We have so many great comments. People really appreciate this.
Thank you,
So good.
Patty. All right, I'm ready to show. Do you want to show our pieces? I know we're about a little over 50 minutes right now, and
I want to see.
I want to say hi to Luz. She was actually my student in high school in my AP class.
oh, that just shows how old you are, Mr. Racinos.
That's rude.
I'm just kidding. I meant
The other
wise.
day, I was at Fairgrove, and one of the kids, I was subbing at Fairgrove, and one of the kids said, Miss Ruiz, do you know my mom? And I was like, I don't know, who's your mom? And she said her name, and I was like, oh, she was in my first third grade class at Fairgrove.
Isn't that amazing? It's like full circle to see your students grow up.
So, Lisa, someone asked if it was cut out of a Post-it, and that's what we did, right? It was out of a Post-it.
Yes, this was out of a Post-it. You can use any kind of paper, but we just used a Post-it today.
I would use construction paper to make it a little easier, but yeah, it's so easy with a Post-it. But are you ready for our big reveal before we let them go for the night?
I want to see.
Okay, ready, Ricardo, go.
Let's see.
Oh, I don't know if you can see mine, though. It's because I use yellow, but I'll show it to you.
It's very hard to see. Oh, you use the light.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good, though. It's good.
Yeah, I'm so proud of it.
Purposely did it in, this is my favorite color, and I think Maricela's favorite color too, Ricardo's wife. So I'll be sharing this with her. But that was super fun and simple, and I just love the conversations and interacting with you, Lisa. We always love having you, and I know this will not be the last time. Promise us it will not be the last time.
No, it will not.
We would love to have you back, and we have a treat for everyone again. Our next session, we have a special speaker again, but we are not telling you who it is. It's going to be amazing, and we can't wait for Lisa to come back again. But before we go, I know we did say we had a raffle, Mr. Racinos. So
Yes, we do. Are you ready for that? What are we raffling?
a Starbucks card.
Okay, here it goes. You ready?
Are we included? Hold on.
No, we're not included. Here it goes.
So those of you watching not live, I'm sorry if you were not included in the raffle, but please feel free to comment and let us know. No, good, Danny. You deserve a Starbucks card. Everybody deserves one, but we only have one to give. I'm so sorry. Congratulations, Danny. We'll be sending that out to you. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. That was super fun. And for those of you tuning in later, thank you for joining us. And we will see you again next week. Same day, same time. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Lisa.
Thank you so much, Lisa.
Thank you for having me.